Hello everyone and happy Friday to you. Welcome back to Pam is Winning. I am Pam. Welcome to the winning family. That's what we do over here. All we do is win. Even when it seems like we're losing, we still win. And then we win again and again and again after that. So that's what we do. So if you want to be a part of the winning family, please like and subscribe to this channel so you can become a part of our family. And we cheer everybody on, no matter what it looks like. So today I want to come to you guys with a bit of a story time. And if you like story times, you're welcome to stay. If you don't like them, you're welcome to leave. I get it, but this story time is not going to be that long. But I want to come to you all to let you know of this experience, because I'm going to tell you guys another story time, and you kind of see where I'm going to be going with it in the next video that I do. But this first story time is about when I was in New York City. I'm from South Carolina. I live in South Carolina currently, but I had to go to New York City for a business trip. So I had to go to New York because of a conference for my particular job that I had at that time. I still currently do the job, but of course we don't travel as much because of COVID, of course. But I went to New York for a week. I was there for a week. My mom traveled with me because she could, and it was a trip I was just going by myself. So she came along with me. We left on a Sunday, and we stayed the whole entire week, and we left that next Sunday. So we had a good bit of time there. Neither one of us had ever been to New York City before, and we were just so excited to go on this trip. So we got there on Sunday evening, and then the next day was the day that my conference started. So my conference went from Monday all the way until Friday. And I think we had to be there from like 9 to 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And so where my conference was going to be held at was actually in a federal building that was not too far from the hotel that I was staying in. It was only, I think, like a mile walking distance. So when I seen that it was close enough for me to walk, I was like, great, I can walk to the conference. And it's going to be, that's going to be just perfect. So I gave myself an hour, just to get there, to walk and all that jazz. So on Monday morning, I pull up the address on my phone. I was walking and, got the directions. So in the middle of me walking and walking and walking and not getting there, I discovered that I was lost. So I saw a police officer. I assume it was a police officer. I mean, you see so many people on the streets of New York. Sometimes you can't tell whether they're police officers or they're security guards. But I asked him about the address, and of course he had no clue where the building was. And so what I did was, after a few minutes just not seeing anything, realizing of course I'm lost, I've never been here before, I hopped the cab. So I hopped in the back of this cab, and I gave the cab driver the address, but the cab driver did not know where the federal building was at. So I put the address in my iPad to give him instructions on how to get there. And so I get there, I make it, I think I'm like 10 minutes right before the conference to begin. And it was, like I said, you all remember, I said it's a federal building. So once I got in the building, before you can go to the elevators, you have to present them with your photo ID, and then they get your name. So I told them my name, and then they asked me for my driver's license or photo ID. And I went into my purse to get it, or my bag. I think I probably had a bag, probably my work bag at the time. So I went in my bag to get my wallet, to give them, get my driver's license out. My wallet was not in my bag. Y'all, my heart sank to my stomach. It did. And I'm just like, I'm panicking. The cab, of course, is long gone. The lady's looking at me, and I was like, oh my God. I said, I think I left my wallet in the cab. And the lady, she was like, of course, nonchalant. She just kind of looked at me. And so I'm kind of like fumbling around, like what a panicking, what I'm going to do. I didn't get the cab number. I didn't get anything from the cab. I didn't get the tag number, nothing. So I'm freaking out. And of course, I'm in New York. I'm not in the South. So people up north are not as friendly sometimes as people in the South are. And she was just like so nonchalant. Like she was looking at me like, what you gonna do? However, I don't know what it was, but I know what it was. So she was gracious and kind enough to let me in. You know, she had my name. My name was there because of course I had already registered for the conference. And so she allowed me to go get on the elevator and go up to my floor. So I was able to get in and I got a pass and everything. So I was thankful for that. And when I got up there to sign in, one of the presenters, she was like, smile, you know, I was like, I just left my wallet in a cab and I don't know what, I was just so distraught. And I was like, oh gosh, it was like a group and I was like, oh, we're so sorry, And so I signed in, mine just going everywhere. I'm still like so nervous, don't know what to do. And so the girl I was sitting beside, she was an Asian young lady. She was very nice. And I told her what had happened, because that's what's always on my mind. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So I can't remember whether I texted my mom or what, but I can't remember if I called her or I texted her, but I did let her know. And of course she's freaking out now. And so I think by the time I got on the break, I called my mom and we was talking. She was like, well, you're going to need your ID is in there. You're going to need the ID for, to get back on the plane, to go home. But the good thing about it, you all, I only had like $20 in the wallet. My measurement, I had like, I remember I took at least $500 cash with me and I had it folded up in my bra. Me and my mom both had it. If you from the South, you know about that. You put your money down in your bra. And so that's where we kept our money for, before we even got on the plane, we put our money in our bras. And that's where we were keeping our money, when we were outside of our hotel room. And so I had money on me, so I wasn't nervous about that. It was just the fact that my ID was in there. And I know I was going to need that to get home. So we were kind of come with all kind of things. I was like, well, maybe I can just call my husband. Maybe he can go to the DMV, get them to fax a copy of my driver's license at the hotel, and I can have that. I just didn't know, what to do. So I tried to calm myself. I relaxed myself. We went to lunch, and I think that like right after lunch, somewhere in between the day, it's like I really felt like a shift. I felt fine. I felt at peace. And then my mom sent me this text message that said, Pam, she said, I called home. She called home to her answer machine. And she said, there was someone that left a message on my answer machine. She said, this man's name is John. He said that he had hopped in a cab and my wallet was in the cab. And he figured that I needed that wallet because my ID was in there. And I was from South Carolina, out of town. He figured that I was going to need my ID to get back home. And he left his number for us to contact him. And at that time, I wasn't even living with my mom. What happened was when I got married, I kept my mom's address still on my driver's license, but I had moved. And evidently, I'm thinking he must have Googled the address and got my mom's home phone number. And she said she never checks her messages, but that particular time, something told her to call home and check her messages. And so she did. And she called him. And she said that he said he wasn't going to be okay until he got that wallet to me. And so, you know, he worked third shift, but he said, well, what I do is I will take the subway. I will come to the hotel to bring her the wallet. And he kept his word. He came to my hotel at the front desk. He had them to call up, asked me to come down. He did not want to leave it with them. Me and my mom, we both went down and we met him. We offered to give him something. He would not take anything, but he handed me my wallet and everything was in my wallet, even the $20. And I am so grateful. I'm so thankful because I know my mom was praying. She called our pastor. They were praying. My mom was telling some other people about what had happened, and everybody else was just like, oh, she's not going to get that wallet back. She's never going to get her wallet back. And I was even kind of thinking I mean, a few times I was just thinking I wasn't going to get my wallet back. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if my husband was going to have to come to New York to, you know, drive to New York to get me. But John brought my wallet to me. So after that trip, I often think about him, and I'm so thankful for John. My mom said that at one point she sent him a text message or email. Not email, but a text message, and she said he didn't respond back. And I'm just like, I'm wondering, like, God, if that was just an angel, you know, because God will have, you know, angels in position sometimes, you know, just to help you out, to send messages to you. But I am so thankful for John. And in my next story time video, I really want you all to tune in because I'm going to talk about another encounter me and a coworker of mine had. Okay. So I may have on the same shirt. So you want to just click over and watch part 2, or well, not part 2, but my other story time. Please do. I'm going to have on the same shirt, y'all. I'm looking the same way. But YouTube was giving me 15 minutes, and now I'm at 12 minutes. But I want you to turn back in. It's not going to be as long as this story drawn out, but I want you to tune back in to see what I'm saying, okay? And John, he was, tell you physically, he was probably about 6 feet tall. He was like maybe, I don't think he was like Puerto Rican or Hispanic. It made it like he might have been, you know, that he had dark hair. I can't remember if he wore glasses or not, but that was John. So John may never see this video. I don't know if John was an angel or not, but I just know I'm so thankful and grateful that what was lost in New York, it was found. And I was able, you know, to enjoy the rest of my trip and make it home. So thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for my next story time.